All right, hey everybody, we're back with another news feed here for you. Don't forget, I post 1, 2, or 3 every day, and hit the subscribe button. But this one, feds refuse to hit the brakes on automated emergency braking. Okay, and this is rejected a request from automakers organization. NHTSA declines to reconsider the AEB requirement, which will go into effect in 2029, maybe. Okay, this is your emergency braking stuff that happens in a car. Okay, and right now it's still plagued with problems, phantom braking, all kinds of stuff that happens. Yes, maybe it's designed to save lives. They state in here somewhere that it will save at least 360 lives and prevent 24,000 injuries each year. Like I said, it's causing injuries and causing problems right now, and phantom braking and things like that. And automakers are like, it's not there yet. Okay, we're not quite there. We're doing the best we can, but the requirements that they're making are too strong for us to be able, as manufacturers, to be able to do by 2029. And NHTSA says, no, you will make this happen. And it's getting kind of out of hand here, with some of the rules. It doesn't say the 62 mile an hour thing in here, but I did read that somewhere else that they want this AEB to work up to 62 miles an hour or something similar to that. They want it to be a no touch for where it doesn't touch the lead vehicle ahead of you and stops you fully before that. And same with pedestrians. And they got a whole bunch of stuff going on in here that's given some issues. It says right here, Vice President for Safety and Technology Policies for the Alliance of Automotive Innovation, a trade association and lobbying group that counts most automakers and many suppliers. Among its 44 members, wrote a letter to NHTSA that identified 5 problems with the Safety Administration's final rule. AAI said it was impractical to require AEB systems to make no contact with the lead vehicle or pedestrian test mannequin, and that the final rules don't allow multiple test runs. AAI said that the requirement to illuminate the malfunction indicator lamp, the MIL, under all conditions of malfunction was impractical. Obviously, a lot of warranty replacements and recalls and issues if that thing's going off for any kind of reason. I also has a problem with the fact that the rule won't allow manual deactivation even under conditions where continued AEB operation would be unexpected, even hazardous. Think of off-roading. We just watched a video where the Truck King, I think it was, got in his vehicle and he was on rollers. So he was on rollers doing a test for the vehicle's traction control to pull him off of rollers. And as soon as he got up to 10 or 15 miles an hour, bam, the truck shut down on him. AEB kicked in and shut him down because he was in his driveway. There was a house in front of him. This thing acted like he was going to drive right through his garage. He was on rollers. But that's why I said there's a lot of this phantom braking stuff going on. In off-road, I could not imagine this system jamming up every time I get into some weeds or anything like that in front of me, or going through grasses or going through water, and this thing lock me up in the middle of it. It would be exhaustingly annoying, and they want a way to, you don't give you a way to turn it off. Anyway, long story short, says AAI said automakers were ready to work with the agency to assure this life-saving technology developed by automakers and suppliers is clear, objective, and practical, and aligned with other NHTSA requirements and procedures while minimizing cost to the consumers. Obviously, we get the bill for everything. But NHTSA said no. NHTSA said nope. This notice denies all other requests in a petition. The effective date for the rule remains September 2029. Well, the AAI said enough of that, and they said that they're not going to tolerate that. They sent a letter to President-elect Trump asking him to reopen the AEB rule and to foster a collaborative and solutions-oriented approach to roadway safety. We shall see what happens on here, but like I said, it's getting pretty out of hand with some of this. NHTSA's getting a little carried away with some of their stuff they're doing here too. I do feel that way. They are taking things a little to the extreme side, but we'll see what happens with all this. And then moving on from there here, Ford trucks, lots of them, win 2025 Best CPO Value Award. Okay, And this is the Vincentric Best CPO Certified Pre-Owned Value in America Award, sweeping 8 total awards in the latest ranking. Let's look at that. Okay, so it went on here, and they're going to tell you a little bit how they are. It says, as a reminder, in order to determine the winners, Vincentric takes a look at the cost of ownership. So now this is important. This is not just based on value of the vehicle, okay? So don't get your panties all in a bunch if you're thinking that Ford's going to hold their value better than something else. It's not just value. They're talking, here's what they take into consideration with this. And then we're going to look at these awards. Vincetti takes a look at the cost of ownership of a variety of used models via 8 different cost factors: depreciation, fees and taxes, financing, fuel use, insurance, maintenance, opportunity costs, and repairs. Okay, it's a lot of variables in there. Fuel, how much fuel is used, how much the insurance is, how much maintenance there is, what the fees and taxes are. Also, the depreciation are taking in a lot of factors into this. Using a statistical model, winners are identified by measuring which vehicles had lower than expected ownership costs given their market segment and price. Each vehicle was evaluated in all 50 states plus Washington, D.C., using a range of annual mileage intervals and insurance profiles with the assumption that each would be driven 15,000 miles annually over 5 years. Man, this list sounds pretty good. Kind of got a lot of exciting things going on here. And, like they really put some work into it. Ford's kind of dominating it, but we're going to pull it up and look at it. Okay, it says that the Vincentric Best CPO Awards are designed to take the guesswork out of shopping for a certified pre-owned vehicle. Many consumers choose the route of the CPO to save money on the initial purchase price while still having the peace of mind that the manufacturer's warranty is there. Okay, so it's interesting. All right, it is interesting. However, I did pull up not only 2025 CPO awards. I was curious, so I pulled up 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, and 2020. So we can compare. So let's see. Here it is right here. So you can decide if it's true, if it's bought and paid for, if it's got any kind of money influence, if it's a shot in the dark. You can make your own mind up. But it does say in here how they rank these, just like they told you right here. Okay, Vincentric measures cost ownership using 8 different cost factors: depreciation, fees, taxes, the same thing we just heard. Okay, evaluated in 50 states. We just heard all of that. Okay, here's your best brands: passenger car brand, Nissan; luxury brand, BMW; SUV brand, Nissan; luxury SUV, Cadillac; truck brand, Ford; van brand, Ford. We'll let you just look here for a second at some of these. You can see the Versa, amazing vehicle, by the way. Love the little Versa. And the Civic, another amazing vehicle, makes great sense. Love Subarus. I got the Nissan Xeon here for a sports car, and you can see what they're listing on here. Let's go to trucks, though. You can scroll through and pause this if you want to. They do SUVs right here. Nissan Kicks, fantastic little vehicle. Outback, love it. Expedition, okay, so here we go. Luxury SUVs. Here's trucks. 2025, Ford Maverick, 14.4 below expected ownership costs. Lowest total cost of ownership in his class, lowest fuel cost in his class, lowest operating cost. Outperformed 7 competitor models. They're saying for full-size pickup truck, F-150 Lightning, okay, 3/4 ton F-250, full-size 1 ton F-350. There's what we get, okay. Here's some vans if you want to look at vans. But here's the trucks. So here's what 2025 says. Now, realistically, 2024's didn't change too much, right? There was really no difference between 2024 and 2025 in any of these models. So I was curious. Let's go over and see what they said for 2024. Here's 2024. Okay, nothing changed between 2024 and 2025. Yet, here we still got the Maverick. We still got the Lightning, which is irrelevant in my world completely. It shouldn't even be part of it. It's an electric truck, all electric. It's not, it shouldn't even be in a full-size half-ton. It's not even really classified as a half-ton when you think about it. Look at the weight of this thing. But anyway, we got the Maverick and we got the 150 Lightning. But here we got a Sierra 2500 and Sierra 3500. 2025, we got an F250 and an F350. Okay. 2.8 below, 1.7 below, 2.6 below, 4.5 below expected ownership cost. Yet you're going to tell me that between 2024 and 2025, this number changed enough that this 1.7 was able to overpower it. So that makes me go, kind of not sure on this. So there's 2025. 2024, we got a couple GMCs. Let's go to 2023. Go to 2023. Jeep Gladiator takes the head of the small mid-size one. There was a Maverick in 2023. Maverick was out, but somehow the Maverick comes in at 5.9 below expected ownership cost, whereas here it's coming in at 10.9 below. Again, look at these values. It's kind of interesting, 2023. And then here we got a Ford F-150, but not the Lightning. Here we got a Chevy again, and with Chevy, but not the Sierra, but we got the Chevys instead of the GMCs. We got a couple more here I put in here. Let's go over to 2022. Truck, we got a Ford, and then a Chevy Silverado again. Okay, and then we go to 2021. We got the Toyota. This was the last gen of that Toyota. That makes sense. I could understand that. But now we're back to GMC for the 3/4 ton. And we're back to a Ford F-350 for this. Let's go to 2020. Here we got a Toyota Tacoma that's winning. And we got the F-150 holds that spot. And now we got 2 Rams in there. So you put as much faith in this list here as you want to, or you rule it any way you want to, you think about it any way you want to, but I thought it was pretty cool that they let me go back and I could look at all their other lists, and now you can do with that information as you please. Put your comments down below, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.